Okay, might as well get started. uh, Basically, nobody will be watching this live anyway, but you know what? I'm gonna play a game. I'm kind of feeling like playing it. Let's play a game, like on Saw. But no, gonna play a game. And you know, I've tried to get through this before on a stream, and we're going to try to do so as much as we can. I'm just kind of feeling in the mood. Got a little more of this again. Didn't go very, I'm just kind of looking over there to make sure everything's going okay. I don't know what the volume's going to come in like when I start this. I might want to knock this back just a bit because, yeah, maybe that should be good. Because this, when you run this emulator on here, it really blasts the volume of the game compared to the other stuff. So, but yeah, I've tried to get through this before. And you know, I'm just kind of in one of those funky moods, you know. I got some personal stuff going on in my life right now that's not great. I've been married for 11 years to somebody, and we are going to be ending that marriage pretty soon. So it's been putting my heart through an emotional roller coaster because I can't help but still love her, even though it's ending. I wanted to try to preserve it myself, but she made it pretty clear the reasons why we shouldn't. And then in the end, I agreed with her. You know, I think we came to a good understanding, and I think we're going to be friends out of this in the end, which might be a better relationship for us in the long run, because that's all she can give me anyway. That's all she's been able to try to give me this entire time. So I'm trying to do things that will distract me, you know. Been getting my legal papers together for our court date, and hopefully everything runs smoothly there. And I haven't completed all that paperwork yet. I shouldn't be procrastinating on it. But just making sure my mic was working. It looks like it is. But yeah, I shouldn't be procrastinating on it, but I've got today and tomorrow to work on it. And when you work on stuff like that, it just makes it worse for you because it's a reminder of what's going on. But that's the reality of the situation. So enough of that. We're going to try to get through as much of this game as we possibly can tonight. Hopefully we can complete it. I haven't completed a game on a stream yet. And if anyone stumbles across this channel, hopefully they can have the patience to sit through it. Might be quite a long stream, but that's fine. I've had ones of an hour or so at the Monkey Island game, and which is quite fun, but doesn't give me a chance to talk as much while I'm watching it. I can react to what I'm seeing, but there's dialogue and stuff, and you want to hear the dialogue of the game too. You don't want to just hear me yapping throughout the entire thing, right? So I will caution you that I once again, for any children that might stumble across this, you really shouldn't drink alcohol until you are of the legal age. Do not sneak around and do it prior to that. I know that's the thing nowadays. I never did that myself. I never did that. You know, I like to think that's one of the reasons why I turned out so normal. I don't know. What is normal anyway? Some people think it would be normal to do that. Some people think it's normal just to disobey traffic laws and speed as much as they want to. That's another thing I could go on. A lot of people get on me about that. Oh, I don't want to turn this into a rant thing, but a lot of people get on to me about that, on how I have a problem with people speeding. I just, you know, and I don't want to be a hypocrite on it, because I myself have done that before, but it's usually to get around somebody that's going slower than the speed limit, which is just as bad in my opinion. Especially if they're going to do it in the passing lane. If they're doing it in the right lane, I don't care, but passing lane and they're blocking traffic, we got a problem. But enough of that. We got a game to play, so let's get going on that. We can still talk on this if we want to at that point. The thing I'm afraid of is this. I tested this out before I started. The problem with ZSNES, and maybe I should use a different emulator on this, is if I go into this window, I'm going to lose mouse control on everything else. And it's kind of hard to get it back. I have to Alt-Tab it, and eventually it shows back up again. I don't know. Maybe I should look for an updated version. Maybe they stopped making versions of this, but this is the version I have, so let's go ahead and try it and see if I can get it going. Okay, I just need to mouse over on this window, and then I need to hit the escape key, and that should get it going. Oh, that's really loud in my ear. I'm gonna have to turn my speaker down. That should not affect what's the volume of what it's capturing at. I'm just looking at it right now. It looks like it's coming in still a bit hot there, just barely lower than me. So I'm going to adjust that. I wasn't kidding. This thing likes to blast the audio, and I swear I thought I had that down far enough before I started. I'm going to Alt-Tab it and get myself into another window, and I should get my mouse back eventually. No, I need to hit the escape key first, I guess. This is what I was talking about with this. If I have to switch out of this, we have problems. Come on, where are you? Okay, now let's try it. Maybe I should be able to get the mouse back now. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna make an adjustment to that volume, and I apologize for this, but I don't want the game to like really be blasting over me here or anywhere close to it, because we want to hear what I'm saying, right? At least someone should. Maybe I just like to hear myself talk, right? Actually, the truth of the matter is, and I will digress one last time, I don't like to hear myself talk. I do not. Funny thing then, right? That I'm doing something like this. I enjoy listening a lot more. In fact, if I had somebody that had a very interesting topic to talk to me about that I was also interested in, I would just kind of sit back and listen to them more, maybe ask a few questions, but you know, I when I can get into that place where I'm in total agreement with somebody about something, that feels amazing. That's how I like to connect with people, feeling totally amazing and connecting. And I miss that a lot because there's a lot of people around me that don't really connect with me on a lot of the things I talk about. There's a lot of people I can't even talk to about my love for playing games, which I really haven't had a lot of opportunity to do because I've been so busy with work and doing these live streams. I mean, I got 6 subscribers on here. All right, enough. I can talk more about this as we go, but I really need to. We do have a lot of wasted space on here, but I didn't want to ruin the aspect ratio of the game. The layout looks okay, I guess. I mean, I could have some sort of background there instead of blackness, but I kind of impromptuly set this up. Impromptuly? I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to make it one for these purposes. All right, let's get it back over here, and I think the volume should be good now, hopefully. Oh, it's still trying to creep up into that yellow, but it's not too bad. I got the green, which is good, and then you got yellow caution, and you got red for its clipping. And my mic might be close to clipping, but that's okay. We want me nice and loud. And, let me go ahead. I'm going to make one more adjustment to my headset, because I don't like to feel like I have to shout. And that's what I feel like I have to do when I'm hearing that blast. It still was kind of blasting in my ears. All right. Now, hopefully. Now, this was designed for a Nintendo Entertainment System. Are you telling me that I did not Start the fourth quest? I could have swore I did this on my own once. Alright. They kind of used, I think, the Nintendo, they reprogrammed the Nintendo version of The Legend of Zelda, and they rearranged some dungeons and upscaled the graphics. I think that's how they basically made this, because the controls are very much the same. I could be wrong. Alright. Let's see. And one of the cool things about this is you can select your avatar. At least you could. You could be Link or Zelda. I just need to figure. Okay, there we go. All right, let's just name this. No, that's blank. No, hold on. What's going on here? Coo. No, I need to figure out how to back up here. DDD. Yeah, that's perfect. This is one of the things I haven't played this in a long time on here. I don't how to delete. I think we just need to go. Oh, I see what's going on here. We need to go here. And there we go. Now we need to, okay, now we're in the wrong space, though. Nope. We'll figure it out eventually, folks. The problem is I don't see where, okay. Okay, we're at the beginning. That's what we want. All right. So. See, no, that's blank. Why is it blanking it out is what I don't understand. Our first roadblock is trying to figure out how to register our name. This is one of the most simple things in the game. If I could remember the controls of this emulator, the way I laid it out on my controller, because it's been a long time. Okay. Let's see. A and B buttons, right? Did I try... Okay, that's the one I did before. Okay, it's the green button on here. That's what I need to do. Okay. Come on. Come on. No. Blank. Blank out. I might just have to call it C and be done with it. It wouldn't be one of these streams if we didn't have some problem, right? All right. Okay, now that I know which button that I need to press. Okay, there we go. Something so easy. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of what I want in here. We're just going to say Chrono, and I think that will do. Okay. Now, there was a way to change the picture, but we're just going to stick with Link. I think that would be good. Okay, might as well start. Whoa. We're having some issues with the emulation. I might have to switch games. Wonderful. This is a first for me. This never happened before with this. Alright, maybe I need to update to a new version of this or something. Let's try the third quest and see if we have the same problem. Just to see. I played this one before. Maybe I just have a corrupted copy of that or something. See, I played this one for a while. Okay, that works. I was gonna start with the fourth quest. I thought I wasn't playing. I didn't play it before. That's strange. Well, that modifies our plans, huh? We could play the third quest from scratch. I'm gonna try the fourth quest one more time. I know it's in a zip file. It may have been just a glitch that happened the first time around. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know what happened there. That was strange. Everything look good over there still. Actually, that does not look good because it's cutting off some stuff. I thought I had the... Okay, so I need to show you some information that's not being displayed. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to see the map data or the all that other stuff, but I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to this sort of thing. And you never know what it's going to look like until you actually load it up and start playing it, so I just need to make an adjustment in OBS here to fix that particular problem. If I could just get my mouse cursor back, I think I forgot to hit escape on... Because that seems to be the key. I got to hit escape on the emulator, and then I can get my mouse back when I tab out of something. Well, it's still mousing in the... Mousing? It's still mousing in the come on. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me just okay, we don't need my calculator up too. I forgot to close that down. Anything that's in that display is going to show. And we don't need that there. Okay, we need to get the crop. All right, let's just move this down and what was it? The Alt key, I think it was. There we go. So we don't need the title bar. The problem is I couldn't get this to capture just the window. I had to get it to capture the display because it wouldn't capture otherwise. I used to do this on when I was playing this before. I did this a different way. I don't remember exactly what it was I did, but I had a different emulator or capture device on this, and this is different. I didn't use OBS when I was playing this before, so okay, I think we got it. The last bit of technical glitch out of the way, finally. So let's get back into the game. Okay. Now, of course, the staple in here is to get the sword. Because otherwise, I don't think it gives you an option here. I think you have to get the sword in this version. I think there's a lot of people that play these, like the classic Legend of Zelda, which I could play if I had an NES emulator, which I don't. And they do bomb runs and all sorts of things. I'm not really into speed running, obviously, because if I was, I would have already failed, right? So this is kind of going to be a mystery for me because I don't remember the layout. I hate playing with a controller that's shaped like an Xbox controller because I'm not used to it. I like the PlayStation controllers, and I like the Switch controller, but I'm not used to Xbox. That's basically what this is. Or at least an old Xbox. I mean, you be the judge. It's pretty similar, and Logitech designed it kind of like that. But it's got elements of a PlayStation controller in it too, because it's got the two camera buttons there and everything, and the D-pad, and yeah, but that's how I'm controlling the movement with the D-pad. Or you can use the analog stick, but there's no need because it doesn't have analog movement. But anyway, so like I said, I was going blind on this because I don't remember the layout of the original game, and plus they shrunk the map in here. I think I know where level 1 should be. I don't know if they changed it for 4th quest or not. That would be a great surprise if they did, because I remember it's usually in kind of like over to the right somewhere. I'm just gonna wander around until I find something, though. But as a reminder to what this actually is, this was not a game they released on the SNES at all. They released it on something called Satellaview, I think. It's like, it was a satellite-beamed SNES type of add-on, in a sense, but in Japan they call it the Super Famicom, not the Super Nintendo. And we never had this in the United States where you could play this particular version. So it even has some of the slowdown of the NES, so it makes me wonder. That's a sidebar, but Makes me wonder if they haven't just used the original NES ROM. I'm really bad at dodging these enemies. It's like you have no idea how hard it is to control this with something that's not an SNES controller. That reminds me, though, I do have an SNES controller, or at least something styled off of one, that I purchased for a Raspberry Pi system. So I could have connected that to here with a USB cord. That's something I could consider for an option, but I kind of like to use my one controller for everything. Okay, I think I'm close to level 1. But anyway, like I was trying to say, this was designed for, no, maybe not. Was designed for a system that the US couldn't get because we didn't have the satellites beam. And it's thanks to people who, like, made this that this is now playable. I'm nowhere close. What they basically did is they stitched together a series of the ROM, because there was... The way it worked is they only beamed in certain parts of the map to people in Japan when they were playing this. They had voice acting, random things that would pop up, like part pieces in random locations and things like that. I didn't mean to get hit there. And basically, can I say one more time, please? I'm aware of that I'm saying it. That's where it becomes a problem. Well, we do need this later for the potions, so I might as well grab it. But... And we can't get that yet because we don't have a ladder. I know the classic game well enough to know that. But basically it made it into a full playable game, because otherwise this wouldn't exist. Which makes me wonder why Nintendo didn't release this in some official form like this. Maybe even ask the original hacker that stitched it together if they could use it. Of course, Nintendo being the IP owner would not need permission to do that, but someone put an awful lot of work into stitching this together so that it works. Which you got to admire, because I went to school for programming, but I don't remember half the things about programming. And I would imagine programming for a console like the SNES might have been kind of tricky because of the hardware limitations and all that stuff. And the language being used. But I remember playing the original Legend of Zelda, or at least I did more watching of my brother playing the original Legend of Zelda. It was fun because, I mean, he had the NES. I can't remember if we each had one or not, but I remember at least he did. My parents bought him one at least, and we had this, and I was enthralled by this game. Like, to the point, and excuse me while I sit here for a second. You can't walk and chew gum at the same time, no? As they say. No, I can play and talk, but it's easier to do that on this one than it is to do it on any other. Like, if I tried to do this with Monkey Island, we'd have a problem. I'm not making much progress, though. Heed my words. Do you have anything else to say? Like, that's like, okay, so imagine if somebody came up to you and said, "Heed my words," and then just left an awkward pause, and they just didn't say anything else. That's what we're dealing with here. So, what is Link supposed to do here? Heed the words that he just said? Like, is there some kind of puzzle in this? Okay, do we have to, like, try to solve a riddle? Okay, heed what? He would what? With my words. Never mind, but you know what I mean? I think somebody forgot to put the rest of that in there. Do you want to go? No, let's not go back in there. That's like the least helpful thing in the world. It's like if you went to a tax, I don't know why I thought of taxes, but if you went to a tax consultant, you said, so, what do I put on Form D? They'd go, you put, and then they just shut up and they said nothing. I just said you put, and then they asked you for, you know, money. That's basically what we got going on there. Buy something, will ya? Well, I can't afford anything, and I have bombs already. Those were free, so I didn't need those, and I don't need that shield right now. I do want to get that shield later, but can't afford it. Okay. But we're trying to find the level 1. We might be wandering around for a while. Oop! Didn't mean to do that. I forgot which button to press. I did it again. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I have bombs now. I can bomb stuff that looks obvious to bomb if I want to. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just trying to find level 1. Okay, we've been there. Alright, let's just go over this way. I know this is where it should be. It's somewhere over this way. But I know I was just over here, too. Wouldn't be down here. I think that's where we started. Well, see, I keep forgetting which button to press. Okay, water. No, that's not right. Up. Let's go up. Okay, this looks right, but it should have been right there, I think. Or close to here. No. Because I remember there would be like a bridge over there that leads to level 1. Okay, that's a ferry. We don't need the ferry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm distracted from what I was talking about. But yeah, we had... Okay, so my brother had the NES. My parents got me an Atari. I think it was. Which, you know, they... Okay, sorry. They had an idea behind this. And I still feel bad to this day about how I reacted to getting an Atari. I still wish I had ones that might be worth something nowadays. And plus I could have said I played Atari, I never played Nintendo. You know? And a lot of people swear by the Atari as being superior to the Nintendo in some ways, at least as far as the nostalgia. But the idea behind it was my brother got an NES, and so we're gonna get me something different. And that's what I did, you know, or that's what they did. And they got one for me. And I can't believe I acted this way, but I told them I wanted a Nintendo, and I acted like, I don't know, spoiled's the right word, or... I don't know, it's probably not the right word, but I acted really badly about it, and I still feel bad about it to this day, because I almost wish, anyway. Well, let's say I do both wish and not wish, put it that way, that I had just stuck with the Atari. One of the games that got me was E.T., and we all know what people think about that game, though. Well, we found level 2. We're not meant to be here yet. I don't think we can complete it without... Unless it requires an item, or unless it doesn't require an item, we should... we'd be able to complete it then, but if it does, we can't complete it. Since we found it, though, let's see how far we can get. I don't want to exit this before I determine if we can proceed in it. I didn't mean to bomb them, but that worked. See, I keep forgetting which button to press. I gotta remember that it's the green button for the sword, and it's the red button for the bombs, okay? Let's make a mental note. It's so much easier when you got an SNES controller, and you know what each button's supposed to do, but we got ABXY on here instead of just... Well, I guess maybe that's a similar thing to the Nintendo. Maybe I tried to map it out that way. But this game is meant to be played on it's meant to be played on the NES, and I think, like I said, I think they used an emulator to run the original Legend of Zelda engine, because there's the same slowdown and everything on here. And they just updated the graphics a little bit. Not to be too repetitive, but I think that's what they did. What was I saying? But yeah, the Atari. I felt bad about the Atari thing. And I still do. You know, that's what kind of guy I am. I'm caring. I still feel like I might have hurt my parents' feelings. But you know what they did, though? Which they were very cool. They went out and they actually got me the Nintendo. And then I had my own. I remember that now. And then what did I do? I had Super Mario Brothers, which came with it, of course. And I played that for quite a while. I never had the Legend of Zelda, though. I think I borrowed it from my older brother, but I'm not entirely certain. Either way, I remember watching him play it and loving the game. And then, let's see, Zelda 2. I remember that one, too. I'm gonna probably die here in a second. No, we survived. Okay, we need the ladder to get over there for that bomb. Okay, let's see. I'm assuming... No, we don't want that. Okay, what happened? I don't remember it making that sound before. Okay. That was strange. Nope. How about here? There we go. I knew there had to be something because... Alright. Let's try to be strategic about this. Okay. That didn't quite work. I was trying to grab that and dodge them, but... We don't have that problem, or we can't do that here. That's amazing, though, when you're playing one of these classic games like this. And then you end up being a total noob, or seeming like a total noob and just getting yourself killed. I'm ready for another one of these. I've already had one before I started. See, I originally wasn't going to do this. I was going to watch some TV. I had some stuff on DVR I was going to catch up on. But I'm like, enough of this passive entertainment. Let's entertain myself in a non-passive sense. And I bought all these beers because I felt like a beer night. I usually don't, but you gotta... If you're responsible enough, you can do it once in a while. That's what I figured. What was I talking about, though? Oh yeah, NES stuff. Might as well keep on that. So, Legend of Zelda, I probably watched him play rather than borrowed it, but I see it's kind of fuzzy in my head. But Zelda 2, I watched that, and I remember I was really helpful on the walkthroughs, because I have a pretty good brain for puzzles. I can kind of figure them out, at least in these older video games, but as far as new puzzles go, like riddles and stuff, I'm kind of dumb on that stuff. Like, I can't figure out, like, tongue twisters and... Not tongue twisters, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know why I said tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are hard to say for most people. Some people have no problem. But, yeah. Point is, you got a lot of things that come up that I just don't know how to handle with riddles and stuff. But it's anyway, so Zelda 2 had a lot of things that were mysterious about it, and it was like a different sort of game. It went to a side scroller on the combat, and then had an experience system. And I think if you're most people probably be familiar with it. It was a completely different sort of thing. And a lot of people didn't like it for that reason, but I actually thought it'd be a great idea for Nintendo to make a Zelda sequel in that style again, because I think people might be up for it. I think we're kind of tired of the 3D exploration type of games. They don't need to be... Like, even if they went back to something like this on the Switch, which they did have Link's Awakening. It was a remake, which I never completed. I started it. It's a good remake. I never played the original game, but... I'm talking about making mainline Zelda games in this style again. For the, the nostalgia purpose, and there's nothing wrong with nostalgia if done right. I tried to dodge it. I didn't do it. They're called traps for a reason. It's a trap! We could call them Akbars. Watch out for the Akbar! It's an Akbar! A little Star Wars reference for you if you weren't familiar with Star Wars. I think a lot of people are, but you'd be surprised that some people don't watch that or haven't seen it. That boss sounds hungry as opposed to menacing. Maybe we should feed it. Dagongo dislikes smoke. Okay, I need to get some cigarettes or something then, right? No. They're talking about bombs. Okay, no. How about you here? Nope. And you can't go up in bombs, so that won't work. I'm gonna say here then. Okay. Alright, but do I have enough bombs to kill it? No, that's the sword. There we go again with that crap. Remember, it's the right button for the bombs, or your B. Do I have this? Yeah, I do have it set right up right. The A button is the green one. That looks different from the NES, actually, too, because in the NES, he looks more like a Triceratops, and he's orange. And here, he looks like a rock creature. Alright, we've completed level 2. Well, we almost have. We will. I don't know, did I... No, we don't want that. Did I complete the dungeon? I got the compass and the map. Yeah, and I got the item, which was the boomerang. So we've completed the dungeon after we grabbed that. Now, I'm curious. I'm extremely curious to see if anybody is on the stream. I seriously doubt it, though. So if you're talking in my chat right now, which I know interaction is a big part of this thing, I apologize for not responding to anything you're saying, but I do not have that chat up. If I want to bring it up, I'm gonna have problems because I have to. You know how much problem I have getting out of this SNES window and to get my mouse cursor back. That's the downside. I don't have it up in like a split screen view over on the other side because I have OBS open and I'm monitoring the stream. And that reminds me, when we end the stream, we're going to have a really awkward time with me ending it because I'm going to have trouble getting the mouse cursor back. So, when I say that's all, you're going to see me fiddling around with stuff for a minute. No biggie, though. Now, we found level 2. It would be beneficial to find level 1. Problem is, I don't know where that is. I visited the general area where it should be, but this is a completely remixed map, like in multiple ways here. Because like I said, we have, first of all, a shrunken down NES Zelda map, because I believe the Nintendo Entertainment System map would be bigger than this. Not by much, but a bit bigger, and on top of this, the NES, when you did a second quest, did not change the map at all. The world map was the same. You just had the dungeons in different spots, but now we have what apparently is a like a rearrangement of the entire world map. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. So, level 1, ought to be, you think, would be near the, somewhere near the beginning of the game, where they start you off at, which is, I think, here. No. Well, maybe this is where we started, and that's why that's all he says. But still, you could have had him say something else. Like, heed my words. Don't drop your sword. Huh. I wonder if that arrow means something. Maybe that's a pointing to something, huh? Maybe level 1's somewhere over here. I don't know. It's a long shot, but I don't know. Something tells me. I think we got a clue. Now, I don't know if there's anything hidden over here. We're not going to try for any hidden heart containers just yet. I might get to the point where I start bombing everything. I just want to complete level 1 first. Okay, speaking of bombing, we just made that same mistake I made, where I'm hitting the wrong button instead of the sword button. When am I going to get it through my skull? No. Okay, there's something over there. That's obviously one of the dungeons. You can't touch these yet. Something tells me there'd be something to bomb over here. Eventually, anyway. I don't know. There's no walkthroughs I can look at either. Well, there probably is, but I don't want to do it. I kind of refuse to do it, actually. I want to try to do this myself. I've been doing that enough on Monkey Island. The cool thing is they block you in, so you have an obvious, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, they make it obvious that you are supposed to do a certain thing. Alright, what's up here? That's gotta be level 1. If that's not level 1, I would be surprised. Cool. Okay, we found it. I knew we'd find it eventually. And we didn't have to look at a walkthrough either. That's the cool thing about Legend of Zelda, is you can, I think they designed that for players to eventually be able to find things in even the original game. They didn't want people to be wandering around forever, and they kind of point you in the right direction sometimes, too. Or they try to with the hints system that they have with the old man or whatever, but some of the clues were pretty cryptic, and you didn't know exactly what he meant, so... Anyway, so what was another NES game I liked? Metroid, of course. You've seen me play a few of the Metroid games. Or, not a few, one of them, literally. I got Super Metroid on here, too, that I could play some of that. That's a cool game. I wouldn't 100% it or anything. Because I don't have that kind of time. There's a lot of advanced tricks to pull off, too, with the Shine Spark and all of that. That takes mastering of the timing and everything. And you could spend at least 20 minutes trying to collect a missile tank or something if you're not very good. And one thing I'll never claim to be is good at classic video games. I enjoyed them very much. And I still enjoy them very much. But good at them? I can't say that. The Wall Masters are coming after me. I'm not gonna recycle that joke I did from that one live stream, or not live stream, but it was... I was trying to play the third quest, and I was doing this British accent during it, and that was my idea behind this channel originally, was to just do different voices while I played these games, and I just never, like, I'm kind of good at doing some voices, you know, trying to do British accent or something like... I'm not doing a very good one right now, but you know what I mean? I can try to do some voices when I play games, but I'm not very good at them. Consistency is key. I'm not very good at consistency, I'm sorry. I try my best. I'm not even consistent with how good I am at something when I play these things. It helps to be, to set yourself up as vulnerable sometimes, you know? To point out your own flaws when you're doing this kind of thing. I think people kind of like that. You know, some people won't like that, but... you know, I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. Some people expect perfection out of people that isn't reasonable. The way I figure it, though, is in life, you do the best you can with the time you got to do it. Somebody I met at work, in fact, kind of said something like that, and I'm paraphrasing. His name was Ricky, and he'd worked together with me in one of the accounts we had, and before I became a supervisor, and then I don't know what became of him after he left the company, but I figured that he was a good friend of mine while we were working. We were at least colleagues at work, and we had identified with a couple of things with each other that like he agreed with some stuff. Like, I like to talk about conspiracy sort of things, how the governments of the world are out to screw us, and how the world, like the media is lying to you, and nothing is really as it seems, that kind of thing. Arrows cost money to use. Thank you. Imagine if it was like that in real life. I'll get back to what I was saying in a second. But imagine if you, every time that you shot an arrow out of your bow, like $1 disappeared out of your wallet. That's basically the equivalent of what he's talking about. But that's a programming limitation they found. It kind of, you know, in a sense, you could say they were kind of lazy, you know? But I don't think it was laziness necessarily. They could have implemented a system for use of arrows in this game, or the original game, that utilized something other than the currency, but they figured, well, the arrow's a pretty powerful thing to use, so maybe we should tie it to a system that's already in the game. So they decided to use the rupees to do that. Or rubies, as the manual in the US version put it. That's another factoid people don't understand, is in Legend of Zelda, it wasn't always rupee, it was ruby. Like, it looks like a ruby, like a gemstone, but they called it ruby originally. At least in the US. Alright. No. Stop that. Okay, where are we? I can't... The problem is here. It shows me the entire map, and I couldn't have been in every single room yet. Like in the original, I say like a lot. That's a habit, like and ah. I'm catching myself. In the original NES version, when you haven't explored a room yet, it doesn't mark it. I have not been in every single room because I haven't been in the boss room, so how could I have been? But it looks, the entire map is showing. Which is throwing me off because that's how you usually understand where you're supposed to go. Did I go down? I don't think I went down. I need to go down, like, go up here. There's an item to get in here that I'll be forgetting if I don't do this, I think. Yeah, I didn't go down yet. I need to do that. Okay. Either that or this lead me to the boss room, and going the other way would have led me to the item. We'll soon find out. If I end up having to come back in the dungeon to get the item, that's fine. But I'm going to guess that it's the ladder, because there was a part in the last dungeon where we needed one and didn't have it. So I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. You know, and I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about NES games, right? What was another NES game I had? Oh, Ultima Exodus. Talking about a cryptic game. Fun game. Actually, probably better than people remember it. But the problem with that is there was... I remember a part of that game where it was talking about... something about Rose of Ambrosia or something like that. And it was very cryptic. It was hard to figure out what they meant. Then you eventually stumble across this place called Ambrosia. Like, I don't remember exactly what that was, except you had to go there to complete the game. The battle system was different. Final Fantasy. There we go. We had Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy. At least my brother did. And I'd watch him play that all the time. We had, what was that called? I can't remember the name of the game. It was another Squaresoft game where you take turns as a knight, a dragon, a thief, and a wizard, I think it was. I can't remember what the name of the game is right now. I'm blanking on it. Oh, it's a bow? No, not the game. The name of the game isn't a bow. Yes, I played that classic NES game called A Bow. Do you remember that one? I'd be surprised if there was an NES game called A Bow. Okay. So, I guess you get the ladder later and you backtrack in that dungeon? I don't know. Or am I thinking of the outside thing? Is there anything like a river or something to cross in the... It doesn't matter. But anyway, that game was pretty difficult. I remember I'm subscribed to this guy named Mike Matei, who's associated with Cinemassacre. You know, the angry video game nerd. He no longer does anything with Cinemassacre to my knowledge, but he did. And he played through that game. I just can't remember it. But I remember my brother and I playing it and being very confused on what to do. Because you had to collect things in a certain order, apparently. You had to be flawless when you played it. Otherwise, you would be unable to complete the game completely. There would be like a false ending, or it would say you screwed up or something like that. But I remember it being a fun game though, because part of the fun sometimes is figuring stuff out when you play games like that. Like I'm playing this game, and there we go with the like again. I'm playing this. Oh, if you want to like though, go ahead and like this. But speaking of like, but part of the fun of playing a game is figuring out what to do. And that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm playing The Legend of Zelda fresh from the first time. And I'm about to lose my first life, which is amazing considering I haven't played this type of game in a long time. This specific type of game. Oh, the Wall Masters are back. Amazing. Thought I got them all. Maybe I didn't. Maybe you guys could drop a heart? Have a heart. Come on. Leave a heart. There we go. Thank you. I need to get some life back, if you know what I mean. Now, if they grab me, they're going to take me back to the beginning of the dungeon, and I think they will deplete one heart container from me. Or not the container, but the one bit of life from me. More of these staffos. Oh, we gotta boomerang these guys. I am amassing quite the collection of rupees, though, aren't I? That's good, though. I can afford that shield. The problem with that shield, though, is if you run into the likes, they will eat the shield if they catch you. It makes you waste your money. I think it's called the magic shield, but it's not that magic if a like or a like can eat it. And then you have to spend more money to get another one. This boss is hungry too, apparently. Oh, it's the, what's this guy called? Well, I'm gonna call him the unicorn dragon because he's got a horn. I can use my sword to kill him, or I can grab my bombs, actually. It might be smarter. Take less time if I can manage to do this right. There we go. I could have just sworded him to death, or stabbed him to death, but... oh well. Alright, there's level 1 and level 2. Now the only problem is... where's level 3? And do we have anything to complete level 3? Better get my boomerang back out. There are some timed events still in this release, I think. So... we will run into a problem if we try to, if we don't grab things in the obvious moment. So when you have the ladder, for instance, you should grab the heart container out there. That might not be timed, though. That might always be there. But there is a certain point, I remember in the third quest, where if you go to a certain area of the map, there would be a heart piece that would be sitting there that you wouldn't be able to get later. So, with that in mind, I'm going to explore before I try... okay, see? That's what I'm talking about. If I would have waited, this probably wouldn't have been there. So we're going to grab that now. That's one of the side effects of what the programmer did to stitch it together, because they did do that. They timed the events where you had to grab it at a certain point or you couldn't get it. And if you couldn't grab it then you wouldn't have a full set of heart containers at the end of the game. Now we need to figure out... okay, let's just explore and see if we can find any more exclusively timed things. Okay, this looks like an obvious place to bomb, so I'm gonna do it. Alright. Buy something, will ya? Well, let's see. We could get arrows and the candle, or we could get the shield. Well, I think the candle's the main priority, because we need to burn some leaves to get to the next area. I'm guessing to level 3. And arrows can be dropped by the enemies, so I don't know why we'd want to buy them. Unless you have to buy them first. That's the question. I don't remember. Well, it's going to be a long process to build up more money, but I'm going to go ahead and buy that, just in case we needed to. That's the double-edged sword on that. If it says arrows cost money to use, and I just spent a lot of money on arrows. And I just did that bomb thing again, because I can't help it sometimes. I know where level 3 is going to be pretty much. I think we need to burn the trees over in that one area, but I want to explore a little bit more to make sure there isn't any more timed exclusive items. Which there might be. You never know. Okay, we can't go any further because we don't have a ladder. So let's go... Okay, that slowdown's really bothering me. No, bomb again. Stop it. You think I'd learn sometime, but it's like I'm trying to press the wrong button at certain moments. I need to, like, discipline myself on that. You'd think it'd be easy for me. It's not that hard. There's an expansion to 12 bombs at some point in this game, too. Gotta keep out on a lookout on that. Okay, well, there were some trees, I think, that I could try burning. Like, yeah, right here. Oh, there we go again. See, I still haven't learned. It's amazing, right? But this looks like an obvious bomb spot, doesn't it? Alright, let's just go ahead. Let's do it, okay? Nope. Nope. No. No! Waste of bombs. Alright, how about the candle, though? The problem is, with this, you got one of these at the time, then you gotta leave the screen. And you would know right away if that had worked. Because it would, automatically do the, sound effect of when Link gets something, discovers something. There might not even be anything here. I think the secret's gonna probably be behind this rock, actually. We'll come back to that. Let's not stay there too long. That'd have wasted 5 bombs, though. We gotta reamass our wealth, too, because we're down pretty low here. That'll help when you get those 5 rupees. Well, it had to be done, though. I had to buy that stuff. Because I didn't know about the arrows dropping randomly. Okay, this is where I was talking about. I know we gotta burn these trees out of the way. That slowdown is just horrendous. You think when they programmed this for the NES, they would have, or the SNES, they would have handled that. I'm guessing that's level 3. Yeah, okay, we're gonna come back there, though. I want to see what else we can do before we go in there. They kind of trap you in here slightly, though. So I would be surprised if we can find anything. There might be a bombable thing over here, or there might be, okay. Well, that works. I doubt there'd be a bombable spot at the same thing. Go north, west, southwest in the Lost Woods. Yes. I think I know that. I always called that upside downside. But the only side we talk about is west, because if we go east, then we go back to the previous screen. So it's a pretty easy secret. I'm betting since they boxed me in here, there's probably not any where else to go but level 3, but let's just check. Okay, this is what they were talking about. No, we don't want that. That can kind of damage them, but I wanted the boomerang because I wanted to stop them, because that's what you can do. You can stun them for a minute when you do that. Let's see. What other NES games did I have? Super Mario Bros. 3. I think I had that at one point. No, I didn't. Someone else had that. I had Super Mario Bros. 2. Which, interesting enough, Super Mario Brothers 2 was a remake of Doki Doki Panic. Okay, it's kind of a maze, which is a separate game, but they reskinned it, and they might have made some other modifications when they did. So the real Super Mario Brothers 2... Oh, I remember this. You can't go this way because of the tornadoes. If they catch you, you can't... You'll be sucked back. Yeah. I mean, you might be able to make it up there if you dodge them, but I don't think you can. But the original Super Mario Bros. 2, anyway, was basically... in Japan, was a... like, it was basically Super Mario Bros. 1, except it had remixed levels in it. That's how they did it, and it was harder. They had, like, a bad mushroom you could get that would take away your health as opposed to give it to you, for instance. And they had harder jumps to make. That was another one of the things that we couldn't get in the United States. In fact, that's the reason why they decided not to port it over, is because they thought it'd be too hard for American audiences to handle. And maybe it would have been at the time, because we, as Americans, were just starting to get on the video game craze. And I think Japan had a head start on it, so they had a lot of people that were very good at it. But we had a lot of people that were good at it after it was introduced to our market. The type of video games that we had... Excuse me for a second. Back then, action platformers were like the mainstay, and for a while when the NES era happened, and then you had... Before that, it was like arcade games like Pac-Man, Centipede, Asteroid. Those were the type of games that certain people remember that were older than I am. And those people usually, the Atari generation, like I was almost part of that, like later in the game. No pun intended. But they had more fondness for those older games than the arcade, like Pac-Man and stuff. And then they didn't really get into the NES stuff. So I'm kind of a mid-tier thing. There's probably a load of classic games on the Atari system that I had that would have been worth playing had I stuck with it, but I didn't. Anyway, I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to take a slight break. Don't worry, I'm not going to put my be right back thing up because it won't be that long. 100 rupees is good, but I'll be right back with you. We'll just leave it on the screen. Take me a couple minutes at most, maybe less. It's probably more like a minute. Actually, I'm going to. I got done doing what I was doing, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and give someone a call really quick. I had my cell phone in the other room, and someone important called, so I need to take the call and call them really quick and talk. So, um, I know it's unprofessional, but it probably won't take as long as you think it will. But it's a good stopping point anyway. What we completed 2 dungeons anyway. So, how long have we been going? Um, I don't know. What does it say on there? Like usually they have the elapsed stream time on this, and I'm not seeing it. Oh, hour and 13 minutes. Okay, yeah, that is a good stopping point. This is longer than we usually go. Not by much, or pretty close to it anyway. So, it'll just take me a second here. I got to put it on not do not disturb, but be right back screen. So you got something to look at besides the video game footage, and you know that I'm taking a break. But I will be right back with you as soon as I can. As soon as I get this up. That is not the that's not the window, but I need my OBS up there. Okay, there we go. I'll be right back with you as soon as possible here.